along here with Stephanie Axarlis, here to explain that I am looking to purchase a security detection X-ray device, actually two of them, for use at both the back door entrance and the front door entrance. The cost you see there on the second page is the cost for two of these devices. This device is approximately 4 feet long and 29 inches wide. And it basically works just like the type of devices, X-ray devices that you see at the airports, where they will put a bag or your box, small piece of luggage on the one end. It goes on a roller, goes through. The screener watches the screen. The screen brings up everything that's in there. This is supposed to be pretty good technology. It shows you a good picture of everything that's in there, and mainly it's to see if there's any contraband weapons being brought into the courthouse. Cost of these two, what I'm looking to do, Stephanie has assured me that AOPC will give us $31,500 of the $41,200 that we need. She's absolutely certain that they will give us that.
I'm absolutely certain. I have written confirmation. It's part of one of their security promotions or initiatives for upgrading security at local courthouses. Originally, it was $18,000 that they were willing to give per county for the purchase of X-ray equipment. They are aware of our situation with the two doors and security as it is. And I wrote to them and spoke with them about the fact of we would need two. This is the price that we got. They have assured me that they would pay the $21,500 for one machine and up to $10,000 towards the second. I have written confirmation. We, the courts, would advance the funds from our already budgeted funds for something else until we could receive the reimbursement back from the AOPC. We've done this on a number of occasions in the past for other initiatives that have been offered by the AOPC, and we have never had an issue with the reimbursement.
The remainder, it's about $9,700. The remainder could be covered by a grant from P Corp, so that the county basically does not have to spend anything. Keith Wentz from P Corp has assured us that we can get the other $9,700.
Now that's an annual grant. What you're referring to is an annual grant that
Right.
the safety committee typically gathers, comes to you with recommendations, and you
railings or other related.
Right.
Let me just make one comment on this piece of equipment. When someone comes into the courthouse now, they basically say they come in with a backpack, or a lady comes in with a purse. The door monitor must open that item, open the purse, open the backpack, and basically they have to go through it with their hands and their fingers. And I really, really would like to get away from that. It can cause problems.
Yeah.
Going through a purse, going through a backpack with your hands and fingers. I just would like to get away from that. Using these X-ray machines, the bag is placed on the conveyor, it goes through, they can see if there's anything. If there's nothing, they're good to go. But the
Essentially on the monitor, but then they would be alerted to
Right.
what
Then
they're getting themselves into once they opened the bag.
Using these X-ray devices, and they're used at a lot of courthouses. They're easy to move around, they're on rollers. The cost here, the $41,200, that would include them coming, the company, Security Detection, out of Holliston, Massachusetts, would come here, set them up, train our employees, our door monitors, how to calibrate these, how to use them. They would do everything, and that's all included in the cost of the $41,200.
Is this something domestics could pay for, to the balance? They would benefit because they have people.
I don't know.
I'm not certain that they would be able to or not, but that would be a question better directed to Karen.
It's the timing, it's that the
It's out of budget.
the safety committee typically will collect different needs and ideas over the course of the year, and then in meeting from June to June. And then in April, we'll prioritize those, give you recommendations on how we would see that grant being spent, and then go from there. This would be 2/3 of that grant, so you'd be one item, eating up 2/3 of that grant. You could do part and part. You could do, and the safety committee doesn't really have we haven't prioritized, as I just said, so you could do the amount from another fund, from the capital fund, and then when it comes to prioritizing those, let me just say, I don't see the safety committee at all not recommending this unless it's just that there are other needs. I'm not sure they'd recommend 2/3 of it out of that.
No.
But if there aren't other needs, then you go for the full amount of the grant and reimburse wherever you took it from.
One way or the other.
One way or the
Yeah,
other.
that's what I was gonna
For
say.
those people that have to go through those things, you never know what they're gonna put their hands into or miss.
It could be just simple
Right.
things like
Yes.
razor blades or something like that.
Or
A needle, they could get
Or be accused
hepatitis.
of taking something, hey, I had $50 in there, it's no longer there.
And those are both the issues.
Dirty
Those are the
tissues
two
with
issues.
viruses on.
People have a privacy issue, they react when someone's digging through their bags and so on, you see it, you can see it every day.
I just-
Number one, and number two, yes, digging in there
Or what
is
they'll miss.
a
If they
danger.
miss something, then that's gonna be on that employee that's marginally engaged and paid. And, this way it's something more scientific approach to safety, so.
And I apologize for it being outside of budget and that this wasn't something that we looked to at budget time, but it is an incredible
I didn't
opportunity.
understand that outside of budget.
Well, because we didn't come to you during the budget process and say,
Yes.
oh, we should do this, this is a
But
possibility.
you're not asking for it to come out of your budget,
I'm not.
so that's the
But-
part I'm missing.
Well, but
The
it would have been
$9,700.
the $9,700 that we're not able to cover, but I do believe it's an incredible opportunity to be able to purchase
No question.
2 for possibly the price of half, even if we aren't able to get.
Is there any chance that would be available over a 2-year period, so it would cover the cost each year?
As a technical matter, the money was available to court administration from AOPC for calendar year 2016.
Okay.
I
We're already beyond the
went beyond
extension.
that. They have agreed to extend it because they know of our need and have assured me that I will be reimbursed the funds, but I don't believe that I'd be able to go any further with that.
Didn't hurt to ask.
I understand. I already asked.
It was a good
I
question.
tried to get both of them covered through AOPC.
Thank you for trying.
My recommendation would be to, for the sake of time, to do this out of the capital improvement fund right now. Brad Seifert is an active member of our safety committee, deputy sheriff, and has already raised this at the committee meeting. So what we'll do is we can keep the amount, on the list, and then when we come to prioritizations, maybe we end up with a shorter list and coming back and saying we'll apply all of that to it or a portion of
I mean,
it.
this applies to 100% of people that are coming through there, so
Yeah.
I don't know how you can miss with.
It's an advantage to
Yeah.
the community as well as the
Absolutely.
people that work here, so.
It's not a-
I definitely want to see it happen. Will we also inquire with domestics, see if they can contribute?
Could you do that?
I can.